back again. Welcome back to Atreyu News. This is Thursday night, February 9th, 2017. So many things that happen now. It appears everything's just accelerating. Back at Red State Watcher. Liberal teacher takes in refugees. What happened next is truly sad. Well, I guess it is kind of sad, but you can probably guess what happened. If the Liberals need more proof about just how important proper vetting is, they need to read this gruesome report about what just happened to a kind-hearted teacher in Germany. Oh, Germany, you mean the country leading the charge in open borders in Europe? Yeah. A German math teacher living in a postcard-perfect hamlet wanted to further his desire to aid fleeing migrants. After befriending 4 refugees while making locations at a migrant center and even opening his home to them, one of them brutally beat him and left him to die in a pool of his own blood. Well, that was nice of him. The 55-year-old German-Iranian teacher lived in Celle, a small town near Hanover, Germany. The popular teacher, known as Mehdi to his students, was reported missing when he didn't show up for work earlier this month. One of his fellow teachers went to Mehdi's home to check on him and found his dead body in a basement of the home. Breitbart reports police were initially baffled about how such a gruesome crime could occur in their quiet town and to such well-liked and caring man. It's always the same story. I can't believe it happened to me. I can't believe it happened to me. Well, why can't you believe it? You have a breakneck speed of third world population fleeing to your country and flooding everything. And it's unbelievable. Like, how is it not believable? It blows me away, the stupidity of these people. What did you expect from massive populations? It's like a population. Basically, they're just going to get rid of the native German people. It's a replacement level population. It'll take 1,000 years to correct that if they ever stop it. More from Red State Watcher. Uh-oh, see what the habit of Trump could be endangering his life. You'd think it would be like an assassination or something, but according to this, there's other problems. Trump may be playing with fire by getting only 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. President Donald Trump doesn't get much more than 40 winks. I'm working long hours, and right up to 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, Trump told O'Reilly Factor on News Tuesday night. He wakes up at 5 a.m. and is known to send tweets at 3 a.m. in his defense. Trump, 70, also told host Bill O'Reilly that he multitasks. While I eat, I read the paper. I see what's going on television. Fox News is owned by News Corp, the parent company of Dow Jones, which also owns MarketWatch. The late British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher famously claimed to get 4 hours per night, bolstering her image as the Iron Lady. Trump is a miraculous man. He claims to have never smoked and never drank in his entire life, based on the fact that his brother died from alcohol or whatever. So he claims to have a pure blood when it comes to that sort of thing, but there's something else going on with Trump, I think. To have that kind of energy, healthy or not, he has more energy than a 20-year-old. And if anybody ever studied how he campaigned on the trail, it was superhuman. Uh, Never been done before, what he was able to achieve. And I remember his last week before the election, he was like campaigning like 3 or 4 rallies a day that are like an hour or two each, like unreal. 70 years old. Shock poll took out where most illegal immigrants live in the USA. Well, I'll give you a few guesses, but you probably already know. 6 in 10 unauthorized immigrants live in just 20 major metropolitan areas. Is it any surprise that Trump is not a fan of sanctuary cities and wants to do away with them? Well, let's take a look. 20 metropolitan areas with the largest number of unauthorized illegals. Well, you'd have to go no further than to find out where Hillary won. She won across the East Coast and the West Coast, right where all the sanctuary cities are. That was Hillary territory minus Florida, but right through here, all the sanctuary cities. Isn't that funny, eh? I almost want an overlay map of the states that she won, and I'd say 95% of sanctuary cities are in states that she won. Big surprise, eh? Big surprise. Breaking threat of the U.S. Capitol. Breaking911.com reported Washington. Police and bomb squad robots were working to clear a suspicious item left on the east side of the United States Capitol Thursday. U.S. Capitol Police urged residents and personnel to avoid the area. No injuries have been reported. Is that it there? Yeah. Well, the amount of firepower you could pack into a small device at this day and age, I suppose you can't really be too careful. And we always knew that the leftists and the people that are being stripped of their power, we always knew they'd never give it up easy. So most of us are expecting something to happen, but praying that it doesn't. Robot assessing a suspicious package on the east front of the Capitol. And from the Drudge Report, Paris builds barrier around Eiffel Tower to limit terrorism. See, Europe is just not the same as it was, eh? Paris is suspending 20 million euros to build a protective barrier around the Eiffel Tower to replace temporary structures that were put up after a series of terror attacks. Sadly, the risk of terrorism hasn't gone away, Deputy Mayor Jean-Francois Martins said at Paris press conference. It's not a wall, it's an atheistic perimeter. Or aesthetic perimeter. I thought I was reading that wrong. Martins wouldn't confirm on a report in Thursday's Le Parisien newspaper that a clear glass structure would be built around the tower's base. The form the new structure takes will depend on solutions proposed in response to the city's call for tenders, he said. Well, I'm not going to read much more of that, but it just goes to show that Paris is not Paris anymore. Europe's not Europe anymore. I've had people that visited Europe that told me they'd never go back because it's just not the same. Everything's changed, and it's dangerous.